In true crime, we often talk about monsters, but sometimes the monster lives in the very home we think is safest. In the quiet early hours of August 4th, 2025, the small community of Middleburg, Florida was still asleep, unaware that inside one suburban home, a tragedy so shocking was unfolding, it would leave the entire nation asking one haunting question. Why would a 14-year-old boy kill the very people who gave him life? Brandi Smith and her husband David Lee were not just names in a headline. To their friends and neighbors, they were a loving couple, a devoted mother and father, raising their teenage son, Trevor. Trevor wasn't the troubled kid you might imagine in a case like this. In fact, people described him as a good kid, a straight-A student, charismatic, funny, and full of good vibes. The Lees seemed like the picture of a happy family, but behind closed doors, something was brewing. Police believe that just after midnight, a heated argument erupted inside the Lee household. We don't know exactly what was said, or what pushed Trevor over the edge, but what happened next was devastating. Trevor, their only son, allegedly took a gun and walked into his parents' bedroom. In the silence of the night, multiple shots were fired. When it was over, Brandi and David lay motionless. Their bedroom now a crime scene littered with shell casings, the smell of gunpowder still heavy in the air. Trevor didn't run. He didn't hide. Instead, he walked to a nearby church. From there, he dialed 911. His voice was calm, almost detached. "I just killed my parents," he told the dispatcher. And then he asked for prayer. For nearly 10 minutes, the operator kept him talking, perhaps hoping to understand why. But Trevor gave no clear reason. Moments later, deputies arrived at the church and arrested him without resistance. When news broke, Middleburg was stunned. Friends and relatives couldn't comprehend it. A cousin said, "I don't know what caused him to do it." One family friend, her voice breaking, told reporters, "This was one of the best families I knew. How could the boy who once brought joy and laughter into their lives be the same boy now accused of ending those lives?" Police say the killings were an isolated domestic incident. But what exactly led to them? A moment of rage? Long-buried resentment? Mental health struggles? Remains a mystery. Investigators are digging into Trevor's life, searching his school history, his mental state, and the family's dynamic. For now, there are only questions. Questions that Brandi and David can no longer answer. Brandi Smith Lee's Facebook page still holds photos of her smiling with her son. Moments that, at the time, seemed like an unbreakable bond between mother and child. Those pictures are now haunting reminders of what was lost. A mother who nurtured, a father who provided, a son who, for reasons we may never fully understand, took them both away. And somewhere in Middleburg, a small church will forever remember the night a boy walked in, confessed to the unthinkable, and asked for prayer.